you ever go to crank your mower up, doing that, and you hear that sound, that's your starter. But it might not mean that it's not engaging. It could be engaging. Could be the teeth on it is wore out. This starter right here has got a little guard on it. Got 2 bolts on it. Pull that guard off, you see what I'm talking about. I can zoom in on it. See right there? Those teeth, these teeth have wore out and it's not touching your flywheel ring. I'm going to show you again what it's doing. You go to turn the key. See it? That bending is kicking in, but the gears are this gear right here is made out of plastic. And over time it wore out, so it's not hitting your flywheel to turn and crank. Yeah, that can happen on anything, even on your car. Of course, your car is not going to have a plastic gear on it, but over time, its teeth could wear out and not turn over your flywheel to crank your engine up. This fix right here might be just as simple as changing this gear. You change this gear where the teeth will hit your flywheel, and you might be back in business. You might be able to crank your machine up, your mower, or whatever you have. Then you might have to change them both. You might have to change your flywheel and your gear. Get down to taking this flywheel out. First thing, I gotta get these 3 bolts out on my mower. And it's one of them teeth, I call them star bits. Pull that top off. I always like to put my screws back where they come from. That way I can keep up with them. Now, time to get to your flywheel. Get your impact gun. This is a 15th, 16th socket. Just that simple and that quick. You also have 2 bolts right here. Take them out. This guard come up. If you don't have a puller to get your flywheel off, to get your crowbar and hammer, you may have to remove your starter. That's the only space where you can really get to it and pry on it or knock it up or whatever you need to do. Take the crowbar, take this hammer, knock it up in there, pry it up that way. You may have to twist it and rotate it to get it up. You can see it's a slot key right there. See how them teeth is worn out? Same as how I showed you the teeth on the starter. That's why when the starter was spinning, it wouldn't turn the flywheel over. And you look on the back side, on the front side, you got them boat heads. See back here, that's not a nut. That's just flat. So I'm probably going to have to cut them out. Those of you that follow me know I use a cutting wheel a lot of times. So I'm at my other house. I keep one down here as well. I'm going to just cut these off so I'll be able to get that flywheel out. Should be able to take a hammer and a screwdriver or something and knock them out. But if not, I just go on the backside and run my cutting wheel around that. This all this is old plastic anyways. Take a screwdriver, pry it up. There you go. Now I just need to get these pins out. Finish getting them out. You knock them down that way or knock them the other way. What you don't want to do, you don't want to flatten the bottom of it, because then it won't come out. So you're going to want to get something, a pin or something, and hit on it. Do a little bit easier way. Take your grinder, cut these pins off a little bit more, then that way you can stick your pin down in the hole and finish knocking it out. See now, you get your pin down in there. You got some skin enough to go all the way through and just knock it all the way out. Find you a screw that's a little bit smaller than the hole. You can tap them pins out like that. You know when you're working on something all one, there's always going to be one that's stubborn. That right there, I'm going to have to drill that out. See the screw pull right out. Got that pin. Take a pair of pliers or something, probably finish pulling it out. If your pin's not quite long enough, because I'm using a screw, I just took this and cut the head off of it. Stick it in the hole. There you have it. Came right out. I've already ordered me a new flywheel set. Come with the flywheel. Come with a gear for the starter. And your screws and your nuts. So flip this over. See how this is made. Your flywheel. There's a difference in it. See, you got these little pads sticking up. They'll go toward that way. Take a line with your screw holes. Get your screws and nuts. Go on the other side. Run it through there. And screw your nut down to it. Got your flywheel bolted up. But you remember on the old one, the back of that pin was kind of flush with your flywheel. So you may have to take and grind the tip end down a little bit, cut it off, so make sure it won't rub nothing. You know, I use this a lot. Not only did I cut the tip end of that screw, but I cut into the nut a little bit too. See that slot right there? Slot right there. Line it up. Slot key. Slot key back in place. And you push it down there a little bit. That's what you want. While you've been doing all that cutting and stuff, kind of wipe away some of your metal shavings and stuff, because you know this is magnetized in the inside of it and everywhere. Line them holes up. got this piece for that big boat. Get that in there. Hit it a little bit. Put your grill up on top. Put them bolts in there. Let the flywheel straighten out. Now, change the gear on the starter. This kit came with one. On the starter, you got this little ring right here you got to pluck off. This is a spring right here, so you can kind of press down and get up on it and try to pry it off. All right. Let's get that off. Got this cap right here. Spring. Have like this washer. See how it just spins? Just come right off. Get the starter. Take a boat. Get that boat started back in there. So it'll be easy to screw it in now. Just kind of get it started. Slide that on out. Then your washer. Then you take a washer. Put that on out. Then you had the spring. Then you had this cap. Put that on out. And since I got that in now, I'll put this other boat in here. Get that started. You want to get these boats started, especially this one, before you put your gear in now. Be hard to screw it in now. Top of this cap with this spring, you need to have a clip in there to keep it down. An original clip, the clip that was on here, I'm not sure if that was the right clip or not, but anyways, I got some of these snap rings I'm just going to put on here. I'm put a snap ring on here to keep it down. I have my snap ring tool with me, because I told you I'm at my other house. So you have to work with what you got. You got the snap ring on now. Finish tightening these bolts up. Before we put all the covers back on here, we're going to turn the key and make sure we're back in business. There you have it, folks. That's what we want.